Have you ever found yourself asking if any of this really matters? Does it even matter if I'm here? Does anyone care what I think? Does anyone notice what I have to say? Maybe sometimes you feel like you're on the inside of a fish tank. You're the fish, everybody is watching. And sometimes, maybe you feel like you're the one looking at all the fish on the inside of the tank. They think you're there, but you feel like you're on the outside looking in. No matter if you feel like you're being watched or watching everyone else, you just can't shake that feeling that you're not really being noticed or known. Sure, there are times when we feel like the center of the universe, but then there are times when it feels like nobody notices us at all. When we don't feel seen or valued by people in our lives, it starts to make us feel like we don't matter. When we feel like we don't matter, it takes the passion and excitement out of our lives. Whether we hear this message a lot or whether we never hear this message at all, believing we matter is a lot harder than it looks. Next week, we will celebrate Easter Sunday, what many people consider the biggest day ever for followers of Jesus, because it's the day we celebrate Jesus' resurrection, when he came back from the dead. More specifically, we're talking about people who encountered Jesus after his resurrection and had a different life after they saw him. So today, we're going to talk about a woman named Mary and her experience with Jesus before and after the resurrection. The truth is, there's a lot we don't know about Mary Magdalene, but one thing we do know for sure is that she was a committed follower of Jesus. Basically, Mary was an outcast before Jesus healed her. So I think we can safely say that she understood what it meant to be ignored and overlooked as an outcast. But here's why we're talking about her today. You see, all four Gospels record that Mary Magdalene was there when Jesus was put on the cross. 3 of the 4 Gospels say she was there at Jesus' burial, and all 4 say that she was the first to see Jesus resurrected. There was no other disciple around in the big moments of Easter as much as Mary was. But she doesn't get a lot of attention. In a lot of ways, she lived on the sidelines, but really she was a major player in the Easter story. The Gospel of John, which was written by another one of Jesus' disciples, records that while it was still dark, Mary got up and went to the tomb of Jesus after he had been crucified. She found the stone gone and the tomb empty. She assumed someone messed with the grave and took Jesus' body. Here's what it says in John chapter 20, verses 11 through 18. Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw 2 angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They've taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it that you're looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, Mary said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." And then, right when he said her name, she turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord," and she told them what he had said to her. So, on the day Jesus defeats death, proving God's love is bigger and stronger than anything else, he makes sure Mary, this outcast, was there to see it. When the rest of the world saw women as unreliable, inferior, and untrustworthy, Jesus saw something different. He valued and elevated them, even when the rest of the world didn't. Jesus made sure Mary knew that she had value and her word could be trusted. When the world was sending Mary one message, Jesus sent another. Because of the resurrection, Mary knew that she mattered, and just like Mary mattered to Jesus, so do you. This Easter season, that's the message I want you to take with you. You are seen, known, loved, and important. Jesus says so. Easter Sunday is a reminder that we can take Jesus seriously. He defeated death. We can trust what he says. Jesus says Mary mattered. You matter too. And I want you to think about how you treat yourself and others. Ask yourself some questions. Do you believe that you matter? Well, do you treat yourself like you matter? Do you allow other people to treat you as if you don't matter? Do you treat others as if they matter? Are there people you treat like they matter more? Are there people you treat like they don't matter at all? What would it look like to start treating yourself and others like Jesus did, like they matter, starting today? What would change in your life if you really believe that you matter to God? And because of that, the people around you matter as well. This week, when you talk to your small group, I want you to think about what could change in your life if you really believe that you matter to God.